Before you judge the girl with tears streaming down her face, you need to understand one thing. You are about to witness a single moment that changed everything. This is not just about a fight. This is about a trap that was set for the wrong persona, and the stunning moment it snapped shut. The dojo was a place of discipline, a sanctuary of respect, with sunlight spilling through wide windows, dust particles dancing in the golden beams. The scent of polished wood and worn tatami lingered in the air. Normally, it was a space of silence and stillness. But today, the silence wasn't peaceful. It was tense, heavy, cracking. Students sat along the wall, frozen in place, their breath caught in their throats. They weren't supposed to be part of this, yet here they were, silently watching as two figures stood at the center of the room, locked in a moment that had spiraled far beyond control. Kyle stood tall, broad-shouldered, wrapped in his blue and yellow varsity jacket like it was royal armor. He moved like someone who believed he owned every room he entered. His perfectly messy hair, his smug grin, his loud mocking laugh, all crafted for attention. His fingers were balled into the collar of a girl's shirt, gripping it so tightly the fabric strained and stretched. Her name was Alara. Smaller, quieter, eyes red and wet. Tears streaked down her face, and not soft, movie scene tears, but raw, real, humiliating ones. Kyle had pulled her forward like a puppet, expecting her to stumble, to tremble, to break, but she didn't stumble. She didn't shrink. Her feet were grounded, firm, rooted like stone. No one noticed. Not Kyle. Not his friends. Not even the ones recording. He saw only what he wanted to see, a victim. For days, he had circled her like a predator, taunting her, searching for a reaction. She was new. She had no friends. She kept to herself. She was an empty space he could fill with his cruelty. Today, in a place she had come for peace, he had finally crossed the line. "Come on, new girl," he sneered, leaning close, his voice dripping with mockery. "What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?" His friends laughed. The ones against the wall didn't. They watched in stunned stillness, waiting, hoping someone would stop it. No one did. Her tears kept falling, but something behind them was changing. Each tear seemed to wash away fear, revealing something colder, sharper. She wasn't shutting down. She was awakening, like ice forming over turbulent water. Her breath steadied, her shoulders relaxed, not in surrender but in calculation. In a distant memory, her grandfather's voice echoed like steady thunder across her mind. "The storm does not fight the mountain, it simply passes over it. Be the mountain, Alara, until you must be the storm." Kyle laughed. One final time, he released her collar and shoved her backward, expecting her to fall. She didn't. Annoyed, he lifted his hand and threw a casual, dismissive punch toward her shoulder. It wasn't meant to harm, it was meant to degrade. But it was his worst mistake. The moment his hand touched her, everything changed. The tears stopped instantly. Her eyes shifted. The girl who had been crying seconds ago vanished. In her place stood something he had never seen before. Calm, focused, quiet. Time slowed. She stepped into his punch, not away from it. Her left forearm rose, guiding his wrist inward in a precise redirect. The motion was fluid, effortless as a juke. His own force betrayed him, pulling him off balance. Confusion flashed in his eyes. In that single heartbeat, a broken bar. She ended it. No fist, no rage. Open palm, rigid, precise. She pivoted. Hips, core, flora, every ounce of her body flowed into a single focused point. A palm strike, less than 6 inches traveled. It sounded like a sledgehammer hitting a melon. A dull, heavy thud. Kyle's head snapped back. No dramatic fall, no scream. He simply dropped. Silence. Not the silence of tension, not the silence of fear. The silence of everything changing. Even the air seemed to stand still. No one spoke, no one moved, no one breathed. She didn't gloat, she didn't smile. She simply stood there, with calm, steady eyes, breathing, present, whole. The storm had passed. Slowly, Kyle began to stir, dazed and broken, and not just physically, but in the way that does not heal easily. His arrogance was gone. His laugh was gone. His certainty was gone. She didn't look at him with anger. She looked at him with something far worse, clarity. She took a breath, straightened her shirt, and in that moment, without saying a word, a broken bar, She became the most powerful person in the room. The entire confrontation had lasted less than 10 seconds, but nothing in that dojo would ever be the same again. In the days that followed, the video spread across the school, then the city, then far beyond. Some called it justice, others called it excessive. Some saw violence, others saw control. But the truth was simpler. She had not attacked, she had responded, not as a victim, not as a warrior, but as someone who understood power and its cost. She didn't want attention, she didn't want fame, she just wanted to exist peacefully. And now, everyone finally understood. Her silence had never meant a weakness, it meant restraint. People began to whisper a different kind of warning, not "she's quiet, boot to broken bar. She knows exactly when not to be." In the end, Kyle transferred schools. The varsity jacket that once felt like a crown now felt like a costume. He would never again mistake loudness for strength. And Alara? She didn't become feared. She became respected, not for what she did, but for what she chose not to do. Because the most powerful storms don't rage, they wait.